Oh baby, let's check back in on these idiots. The quality is gonna decrease on these per like second, let alone per video. It's UPBA power rankings. Hey, did I skip the 2 weeks ago I was supposed to do? And not up to me somehow. So they just fuck it. Here's the standings. We got one undefeated team. All hacks, no skill. We got a couple 6-1s, a big spread in the middle. Basically, like nobody. I don't. I guess this is like top four get buys, and it's a top 12 playoffs. So like 5 through 12 will play. Um, so like anyone's definitely still in it. Even these even these 1-16s. I don't remember how many weeks this is, but we'll figure it out later. But some exciting stuff happened. I think a major thing is the Ann Arbor Excelgors, coached by Jesse, is now the Hawaiian Comos, coached by Cahoots, because all people named Jesse apparently are trash. Just kidding, maybe, just maybe. But we got some swings here. A couple of big swings in the power rankings. I mean, I know I said like, oh, every week if you win you get, if I do power rankings every week, if you win you just get like +1 or 2 or whatever. But that still kind of happened. Like obviously people who won like 3 out of the last 4 battles, or lost 3 or more out of the last 4 battles, whatever, obviously will jump or drop. But some of the 2-2s did stay the same. Some of the 2-2s did change. So it's not all like record based. Like these are not just the PRs. Obviously, the people with still stronger teams that maybe held their diff a little bit or something may do better. That's it for the intro. I don't give a shit. And very 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 ultimate last place, in 20th, is the wrong team. What? Oh, never mind. It's the right team. It's I saw this. No, I was like, it's the wrong team. The Vancouver Lycanux, coached by Slightly Salty. It doesn't fit very well now because I changed the window region to fit better. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so since the last time I did this, Salty was 2-1, jumped up 6 places from last in the initial power rankings, and then I was like, whoa, 2-1. Like I have to give him some credence. That's a good start. Since then has now gone 0-4, so we're back to sorry, you're in last place because I didn't like your team, and then you started doing well, and I was like, oh, and then apparently I was tricked. So since then, I will say these weren't terrible. An 0-2 loss to Trog, kept it pretty close. 0-5 loss to the Dutch Dupiter, coached by Foxator. That's a big one. But the 0-3, 0-1. So like basically an 0-3 loss or worse really isn't terrible. The 0-1 against the Motostoke Moltres, I don't even remember if that was like hacksy or anything, or if it was just a close battle. But like it's not horrendous. But like I said, I have the precedent of I hate this team basically. So I mean, he does have some actually new trades in here, like some pretty heavy trades too. So like Doublade is gone, but Tapu Lele is gone, and Lele essentially got replaced by Mesprit, which is like kind of crazy. Dropped Volcanion and got the fire and water types back in Toxapex and Marowak, so there's something there. Tyranton dropped and no dragon replaced it, so I think he's down dragon and a fairy. Looking at no, Tapu Bulu is a fairy, duh, Tapu Tapu. But he's down a dragon type from these trades, which is like kind of crazy. So just like no dragon type now, which isn't like 100% necessary, but like the team's still weird. There's basically no synergy with Bulu. Like you're already regenning with Toxapex and Tangrowth. Regen core, I guess, is nice. Tangrowth Pex is just fat and obnoxious in the first place. Like basically, like you have like nothing on the ground in the first place, and you have regen mons. Like only Marowak basically benefits from the grassy terrain. Like Lucario doesn't really care about it. The other two are healing. Everything else is off the ground. Marowscuta doesn't care about it either. Like that's crazy stuff. But got to start winning to jump in, the power rankings. So like it's just I will like acknowledge I don't think the trades have made the team necessarily worse. But I will say you do have hazards now, which is very, very nice. Before it was just Tyrantrum with Stealth Rocks, but now you have Marowak and Mesprit with Stealth Rocks and Pex for Spikes. So like, it's a big change. I mean, of 2 more mons, I can set hazards. I don't know. I don't know what Salty does. I don't think I've ever even like spoken to the dude. But you know, obviously, I haven't had any issues yet playing games, participating 100%. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, if you look at anybody's like record, if you're like 5-2, you could have got started 0-2 and won 5 straight. You know, if you're 2-5, you could have won 2 and then lost 5 straight, essentially, or whatever. So it's like you never know. Like you could end win the next. I don't know how many, like 5, I guess. If it's a 12-week season. Oh wait, I can check how many weeks it is. Right, I can look at the schedule at some point here. 12. So you can win the next 5, go 7-2, and make it. Like that's literally totally possible. So like you never know. Yeah, that's why these exist. But after Salty and the Vancouver Lycanrocs in 19 is unfortunately the Atlanta Braviaries, coached by Talon, who is actually no, that's Talon still. I always forget who's like Discord doesn't match their draft league name. So in the first power rankings, Talon had started 2-1, and I jumped them 6 spots from 18th, and then went ahead and lost 4 straight also. So that's just a huge swing in the other direction. I went from +3 to -11. Those are extremely big swings here. And the 0-4 loss to Mid, who's the worst coach in the league. 0-2 to Jay. Atlanta is passable. 0-3 loss to here, and then another big loss to the Dutch Dewbiter. What is Fox doing? He's crazy. Huge wins. I mean, you might be wondering, oh, where is he? Where is he now? You saw the standings at the beginning of the video. He's got to be up there at this point, right? But yeah, just big. I don't remember if these trades had gone in before, but these are like weird trades. Like Rotofrost is back now. Tangela's here. He had an Alchemy, and that's gone, right? Like the one is dropped. So like Yanxiao got dropped at some point, and he had Scrafty and Yanxiao at the same time. Like all these mods are like useless. Like I'm not even being mean. Like I'm looking at all these. I'm like, these are all just like low budget BS trades. Like I don't know how much they're helping, right? Because like you got to be bringing like these mons every time, right? 6, 7, 5, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 0, 2. Like I mean 2 isn't even bad for your budget mons. Vaporeon coming twice is crazy to me. It's Vaporeon. It's really good. Only came twice. You didn't trade for it. I didn't see you trade down there. Yeah, it's literally like entirely relying on Halucha to win, and it's not working. Oh, actually, I remember this game. I remember his game against Mid, and I was like, I basically told Mid like, you brought nothing for Halucha, and like if he just got like 1 Swords Dance and a little bit of chip, he lost. And Mid was like, yeah, but then he didn't. And I was like, oh, okay, weird. So I don't know. I feel like he should have won that one on like matchup. But whatever. I mean, yeah, 2-5 -11 is gonna be rough to come back from. I know I just said like everyone's still in it, and I just said Salty could win his next 5. Talon could win his next 5. But I think he's got like issues that are just like a little bit strong. Indeed, he's forced to come every game to support Halucha. It's weird, and then it's nerfing Aegislash. This is the other the reason I had this team so low to begin with. The Aegislash and the combo is just so I don't know. He can do it, but will he? So next up, having no change from last time is Mid, because I hate him. He actually went 2-2 since the last time we did it, so that's not like terrible. I don't think he's made any trades because I don't think he cares. Nope, no trades. He doesn't care. And then yeah, so he got like 4-0 win against Talon, which is like fine, but Talon doing really bad. Barely lost to the Chandelures by Shadow, so I mean that's close. Barely beat Goki. The 1-0. I don't remember if he hexed him or not. I feel like Goki's been either bad or just hexed all the time. And then lost to Lars, but apparently I wouldn't say should have beaten Lars, but would have. I think Mid was supposed to be in a very good position. He actually got crit on a turn. He was supposed to take out Nihiligo, and then Nihiligo did a bunch of shit later in the game. So like, I'll give him this one, and then I'll take this one away, and these will even out. He should have lost to Talon, and he should have beat Lars, so he's still 2-2. But at least he's winning games now. He's still -10, like -10 Mid, -10. Hey, remember when you just gave Cahool like a free 6-0 inheritance, so he isn't doing as bad and has a chance to make playoffs now? I mean, that was a nice gift. Hey, remember when you mean with Jesse and then he dropped? What was the point of that? Mid. That's fine though. I mean, he can still win more games as long as he, like tries or does anything. But I don't know if he's gonna try or do anything because it's mid, and none of us give a shit, so it's fine. He could do it though. I mean, I could have given him more because I dropped him 13 points in the first power rankings, and then he went 2-2, which isn't bad at all. And then I still kept him 13 points down from the starting point because I still think his team is like solid. It's weird, but it's solid. Um, but he's not doing shit with it, so it doesn't count somehow. All right, next up in 17th is unfortunately the Cleveland Indies, the original number 1 slot. Dropped them only 7 in the first week because I was like, well, 1 and 2, like you can do it, but big diff drops. And then he proceeded to lose the next 4, minus 19. So I just like I can't justify it anymore. So that's another 9-point drop. So after the 7-point drop and the 9-point drop, you went from that math doesn't even add up. 8th to 17th. Yeah, no, that math added up. I didn't put him in last. I'm stupid. Big losses too. Like 4-2, 4-2. I mean, like the twos aren't huge, but he did lose 4-0 to Trog, and he lost 4-0 to Aquarius, both like struggling teams at the time, and not super strong. Oh wait, no, the Chicago Street Champ was pretty stuff. So 2-4, 2-4. Still lost to Hawaiian Komos, the new coach. I don't know. I don't remember this game. I think this game actually got played by Jesse. I think Cahoots is now in the league. So I think all the games for this were actually done by Jesse before dropping, but I'm still just going to keep it because it matches the site. So yeah, rough losses to these two teams, close losses to these two teams that are doing okay at the very least. So it's just a rough showing. And I don't know if it's the team. You can see how these Mons are doing. I mean, Lando's coming all the time. Like these 2 1-4s here, right? Metagross and Zarude just dying all the time. I don't know, it doesn't seem terrible. I mean, he's bringing Lando and Rotom every week, which kind of makes sense. You would expect that, but yeah, I don't know. Just a rough showing. I don't know. I don't know anything about KJ as a coach. If this is an early Wi-Fi league, if he's new to league, or he's just struggling with the team. If he's been getting hacks every week, I haven't really been paying attention because I'm a douchebag and I'm not in this league. So the best I can do is talk to people and harass them. So yeah, it's a rough thing. Make me look a little bit bad. So I know like the entire point of power rankings is just strength of the team, but I was kind of questioning putting this team in first, like when I was recording, and then now it's doing really bad. So I don't know if it's him or I don't know if it's the team. I don't know if we gave Lars this team, would he still be a 30-0 or whatever he is? So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I didn't update any of the records for the top like 5 people. But that's gonna be a little bit confusing for me, but I'll change it before I post. Oh yeah, I'm gonna post. I'll post the table of changes and current ranking at the end of the video. Obviously, I meant to say that at the beginning, but then I forgot because I don't plan these at all. So next, above Kuvendides in 16th is Goki and the Milwaukee Metachams. A very similar story. Dropped him only 2 spots in the first week from 3rd to begin with, but he was 1-2 -1, and then proceeded once again to lose the last 4. Not great. Diff holding on 1-6 -9 is like the best diff of the bottom teams by far. I mean, there are 2 teams that are 3-4 -10 right now. So like that's just like impressive, honestly, that he didn't like losing all these close games, and you can see the 5-0 win, and then 0-3, 0-3, 0-2, 0-3, 0-1, 0-2. So it's like the losses are really close. I don't know if he's got bad like end game plays, if he's got if it's just like how his team works, that it's hard to just like to run it over. But yeah, it's like it's interesting. So he's clearly like close. And Musharna for Lycanroc and Marowak for Salty. I think I went over this in the last video, definitely, because it's like January. Doesn't make sense. Wait, is that possible? Whatever. I don't know how weeks work, apparently. But these were probably like post draft videos anyways. But I don't know. I don't know like why he's not just quite not there. It could be these like 3-2 on Tyranitar and Dracozolt. So like the Sand Core just isn't performing. Might seem to be the case. And then we got Subtile here 4 times 1 and 4 rings. So like it might just be a slightly unideal build, slightly like like Subtile could have won those games, but he didn't play right or got crit or like he missed a move or you know what I mean. Like there's probably a ton of reasons, but 1-6 is definitely going to be hard to come back from. Not the only 1-6 team, and only 2 games back in theory with the diff. He should be able to like theoretically swing it. Even though I know we're past week 7 in terms of like where the current week is. This is just like current update, and I'm doing it for week 7. So he may have lost more games. maybe over by now. Oh well. So above him in 15th is going to be Trogaholic, Lucas from the Mother series and the New York Yampers. He's in 15th, as I said before. I didn't update his record either. So went from 1-2 to 3-4. So that's a 2-2. He won 2, he lost 2. It's not like a horrible showing. He's got no trades. Oh, no. Wait, never mind. Mantine and Regieleki got dropped for Mortar and Mantine, and then he traded Chandelure for Raikou. This is a little confusing to look at, but this was a coach trade. So he actually gave Regieleki to Danny for Mantine. And then he gave Chandelure to Danny for Raikou. So Raikou and Mantine are on the team now. Magmortar's on the team, I think, in some way. I'm not really sure like how this all factors together, but I think he has a Magmortar right now, right? Yeah, it's right there. Magmortar, 2-2 in 2 games. Oh, baby. But Trog's been playing okay. It's been close. He won 3 straight. So like here's the thing where it's like you look at the order and he lost his first 2, won 3 straight, and then lost 2 more. The one against Jesse was super close. I think it was like a misplay, and the one against Shadow and Charlotte Chandelures was also misplayed because Trog loves to misplay. It's like, oh, there's 4 loot moves left in the game, 4 turns left. Oh, let me sack my win con, kind of thing. That's okay. I mean, I do that shit all the time. It's just like not. I don't do it like as my only way I lose. It's just how I lose sometimes. Like Trog, it's like the only way he ever loses is by like throwing for some reason. But he did okay. So gave him 2 spots. Just for being a little bit consistent, hanging in there, and he could definitely come back from a 2-5. 3-4, not even bad at all. You can come back from a 3-4, no problem. I think he's like placed right now. I think he's like technically in playoffs. I don't remember to look at the thing. Yeah. If top 12 make it, he's in. So like that's kind of crazy. Ooh, clicked right back on the tab. I wasn't even looking. So yeah, we'll see. Basically, Urshifu is carrying. Who would have guessed? Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'll look at the like kill leaders after this just to do something real quick. So above Trog is JB in how long this video is for? 18 minutes. No, not I can speed it up a little bit, but it's not terrible. 14th is JB Westside and the Las Vegas Sunrises. So he also went 2-2 since the last time. I dropped him 7 points for it, but since I like his team to begin with, if he goes 2-2, I'll give him some of those spots back. I only gave him 1 spot back though, so it doesn't really count. Let's check these out. He did make like a lot of trades. I don't know how I feel about them. Like Amoonguss got dropped for Scolipede, and then Amoonguss ended up back on the team. So he has 2 poison types, but he does have like a dark type, but a less bulky dark type to handle psychic types. And I mean, he doesn't have Lele either. No, he has Lele now, right? These are the teams he had. So he has Lele now. He took it from Salty. So he's got an interesting team. I actually have no idea what's happening with him, but yeah, he like I said, 2-2. So he'd won the first game against Aqua since I did the last power rankings, and proceeded to lose 2 close games and then won 1 close game. So he's pulling, besides the week 1 against Fox, he's been pulling pretty tight battles. So Diff isn't suffering horribly. 2-5 -7, not a bad differential at all. So like he's still in it in terms of differential just by being 2-5. I mean, like most of these 2-5 teams probably need to win minimum 4 games. I think with the top 12 making it, a 6-6 team can easily make playoffs, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't know what's going particularly wrong or right for JB. I think he's playing close games. The 5 Slowbro being 1-5, honestly, isn't even that crazy. But maybe he'll be able to adjust with like the new trades and pull some stuff back. But he doesn't match up very well against like psychic types, despite having psychic trains. So if he plays a good psychic type and brings Lele, like it's going to be kind of an issue for him. But I don't know, could be fine. So above JB is the newcomer, the Hawaiian Komos, coached by Cahoots. Also a good name. Sorry, Goki. We got a cool coach name fighting for dominance. So since the last time, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, so 2 and 2 showing, which like I said, I believe was actually done all by Jesse before he dropped. But and we only have a couple. We don't even actually have trades from Cahoots taking over the team, which is like interesting. But he did proceed to get 6-0 week 4 after I did the week 3 by Q. Q's like crazy. Lost to Shea, who's also doing really well, and then barely beat Trog, and then kind of crushed KJ and the Cleveland Needies. So like, we'll have to see. I gave him spots. How many spots did I give him? I gave him 3 spots just for going 2 and 2 and kind of turning season around after the only win was against like mid means. So we'll see if Cahoots can. It'll be similar to Danny. See if he can actually take over the team and start doing things with it. But speaking of Danny, he was in last in the last power rankings, and you see, we haven't even gone over him yet. So if you win games, you can jump in these. But I mean, these are worthless. So why do you even care about power rankings? As long as you make playoffs and perform and maybe make good content, it's important. You'll continue. So we'll see what Cahoots can do. Seems to be that Blaziken is like the MVP, which is crazy. I think. Well, Blaziken got the 6-0 in the Super Mean match. So I don't even know what this team's doing. Never mind. I take it all back. So above Cahoots is going to be Wes and the Motostoke Moltres. Another 2 and 2. No, 3 and 1 since the last thing. He started 0 and 3. I put him in 19th, and he gets a big 7-point jump to 12th after going 3 and 1 after the initial weeks. So I mean that's a great season turnaround so far. Only issue is that the one loss was a 6-0 from Q. So the diff is in a rough spot. 3 and 4 minus 10 is like an incredibly bad differential for 3 and 10 or 3 and 4. But snagged a win against Salty, snagged wins against KJ, 2 of the bottom PR teams. So it's not like amazing. Did lose to Q, but beat Lieutenant Gold in the H Slush as well. So hey, like wins are wins. If you're 8 and 4 minus 2, like who cares? Like you're definitely gonna make playoffs, so that's not a huge deal. Glacier did get dropped from Frostlass, who Gray had, and then Frostlass is trash, but Glacier also isn't like good in the first place. Like it's fun. It's definitely fun. It is not a good mono. Don't lie to me that you think it is. But yeah, I don't know what he's done to turn the season around. Another 8 and 4 mon Gardevoir. Okay, so I believe Gardevoir doing well. Gardevoir and sort of Zapdos carrying the team. Not like it's a differential hurt, so it's hard to tell who's really like keeping the team afloat since everything's dying all the time to give him terrible diff. But yeah, he bringing it back 3 and 1 in 4 games, not bad at all. Definitely in the running to finish strong and make playoffs. So above above Wes, who is above Cahoots in 11th place is going to be Killaboom, Danny, and the Munchlaxter United. So he did go 3 and 1 after joining. Good for him. Out of last place, I gave him +9 on this. Pretty crazy. But he's joined and performed. I mean, he has Rapid Strike, with not even a good one. Doing good stuff with Neck, 8 and 4. Otherwise, not doing a ton. But like, hey, if 2 months carry your team, 2 months carry your team. Weird hazards. I don't know. He joined and won. I guess I don't remember which week he actually joined. I guess it should have been week 4, but did join and take a tough loss to Fox. I think this was a makeup game, and then proceeded to win 3 in a row. So I mean that's a good thing. They're very close games. So another team that's left. I mean 4-3 minus 2 actually not bad at all, despite the 6-0 loss to Gray. 3-0 wins, offsetting all the very close losses. So hey, he's definitely sticking in it. Made like infinite trades, made so many trades. I think he made an illegal amount of trades. I don't know like what we did for replacement coaches, but he made trades like 3 weeks in a row after joining, and I was like, is he allowed to do that? But I guess it doesn't matter. He got 9 tails. He picked up a lot of mons from other coaches. So we'll see if the team restructure is gonna carry him on. He's obviously performing really well. He's performing super well in the PTL. So Danny took a break from Mons and he came back strong. So got to power rank him high. He's performing well, and it gives me a little bias when I know these people in other leagues and I can see how they're performing. There's not really like a correlation. I think I do well in certain leagues and terrible in others, so like it doesn't mean anything. But hey, good for him to come back. And I'm going to take a break because I'm losing my mind here. How do I do this? No, okay, I'm back. Oh, my brain, I'm talking too much here. Who's above Danny in 10th? 10 teams to go. I can do it. It's Lieutenant Gold in the Los Angeles Aegis having gone 1-3 since the last one of these, and I gave him +0 for it. And I don't really know why. I think it's just like where he ended up. I could have swapped teams around. I don't. It's basically like the teams below had been getting like large boosts, and I couldn't justify boosting the teams doing well or like the bad teams doing well, which is like a terrible way to put it. And I couldn't drop like the better teams doing bad. So Lieutenant just kind of held his spot. In 10th, which I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, 3 and 4 isn't bad by any means. He is 3 and 4 +3, so holding on to a strong differential. But did lose, obviously a handful of battles now. Lost to Gray, which is just embarrassing. Just kidding. No, it's fine. I don't remember what Gray did in this battle to win it so well, but a loss to West and Mosto. Close loss to Danny, week 5. And then took win against Talon, whatever, against for the 3-0 win. So it's not, he's doing all right. A little bit struggling since the 2-1 start. Obviously, you don't want to go from positive to negative, but there's plenty of time left in the season. And I'm not sure what his struggles have been. Arc result is 6-2 though, which is like pretty crazy. And like the rest of the team, no, sorry. And Coco has all his kills. So basically, Coco's carrying the team. It seems that in the matchups where Coco doesn't get kills or can't get all the kills, he's kind of falling apart. But his electric types seem very strong. And I think Blissey is like garbage or something. Obviously, goes 0-2, which is a little bit rough. So, I don't know. I got nothing, man. This is how people record videos, right? Like laying down, like dying. Above him in 9 is a Chicago Strength Sap, coached by Aquarius. Did go 2-2 since the last one, but still dropped 2 spots because the team should be doing better. Although Aquarius did make a bunch of trades, so the team has now got Starmie over Melodic, Jerkatree. No, I think Jerkatree got traded. This hasn't been updated yet. I think I got traded this week. But Sneasel, also like a little bit more offense. Drifblim, Rip, but like I can see why it got dropped. Loss of Rotom Heat is a little iffy. Rotom Heat's really good, but like if it doesn't fit, what can you do? And I think Aqua's down just a fire type now. No, Rotom Heat's still on the team. What? Oh, wait. Traded. You got Aquarius got Rotom Heat because they gave Galadite, Sneasel. God, the trades are so confusing. Okay, I'm done. So okay, received Rotom Heat was actually I think totally fine, totally fine. So yeah, Aquarius. I think they made some decent trades. The 6-0 loss to Lars is honestly not even like that bad. Just a big differential hit. So like Aquarius, when they're losing a little bit bad. 3-0s aren't terrible. 5-6 was bad. Did nap the win against Shay. I don't remember this battle at all. Did nap the win against Q. 2 very strong coaches. So for the most part, kind of like losing to some like the poor performing coaches, but then Lars, and then beating some strong coaches. Like, well, not really. I don't know. I tried to like analyze that in a way that's not possible. So winning against Shay and then Q, I think is a very good like pattern, and I think Aqua can continue winning games at this rate. Like Fox is doing really well, Gallight is doing really well. Lieutenant and Gray are in it for sure. So like, I don't know. I definitely am not cutting Aquarius out of it. I still like their team, even with the trades. I don't know if it's worse or better or what, but it's a weird team that they're making it work somehow. And basically, Dracion's the MVP, which is also kind of weird. But Starmie's 4-2 since joining, so that seems to have been a good trade at the very least. I don't know. So see if I could continue winning despite my best attempts to not be remotely helpful in team building. Just complete waste of time and and effort to even ask me about builds. But hey, it's funny, so hey, keep going. Above Aqua in 8th is Charlotte Chandelures, coached by Shadow Stitch, doing okay, 2-2 since the last time, but still enough to jump a few spots. And the reason being, I don't have one. Just staying in the running, I think has been good enough. Big loss to Fox, and then they lost to Shea, but beat Mid and beat Trog, so maintaining the momentum, staying positive record. 4-3 is good. Obviously, like all the 4-3s are gonna not want to go 4-4. I don't know what the week 8 matchups are. If there's a lot of 4-3 teams playing or 3-4 teams playing, those could be big swings. But basically, Bettini's carrying the team, and then Venusaur in the Sun is carrying the team. So like using the synergies well. Like that's all I can say is the Sun with Venu and Victini seems to be doing Shadow quite a bit of work. I'm assuming the battles that he's lost have been the battles where that strat hasn't really worked out. But if it works out 4 out of 7 times, like you'll probably make playoffs. So doing just fine, I think. So just build a team for a reason and executing more or less pretty well. So good for Shadow. Above Shadow in 7th is actually Gray in the Vancouver Titans. What? He won the BBR. Now he's good. What? It can't be fathomable. He went 3-1. What? Gray? Have I been crafting his teams for him perfectly so that he wins? Absolutely, yes. I'm pretty sure that's about what's happened. So it's like here, I was like, yeah, whatever. And then you can tell I started helping. Just kidding. No, obviously, no, that's true. But 3 wins in a row. Beat JB, which is like, they were both struggling. But beat Q, beat Lieutenant Gold. Barely lost to Jay. So he's coming back. The 6-0 win week 1 into 3 losses is rough, but then 3 wins. These could have been alternating wins and losses. It's hard to look back at a season and see 3 wins in a row, 3 losses in a row, and try to make assumptions about that. He did make some trades. I think these are in now. Beware, Rhyperior, and Mr. Rhyme for these 3. I don't necessarily think these are bad. I think Miltank is. I think individually on this, Miltank and Rhyperior are the best 2, and the other 4 are just totally niche weirdos. But it could do stuff. I think I don't know. Beware and Girder are probably pretty equal, and Rhyme and Frostless are also pretty equal. So they're pretty equal trades. I don't think his team's necessarily worse. It just depends on what roles he needs. We'll take a quick look at his kill leaders and notice that Celesteela is carrying a little bit, but Hydreigon 5-1 is a pretty good showing, and then Entei 6-3. So he's using his weapons well. Repair 3-1, good mon. So I think Gray's he's just playing his game. He's doing well. He's got a weirdish team, but I think he's playing to his strengths. So see if he can keep it up and continue this win streak. Baby above Gray in 6 is actually a drop. We haven't seen a drop in a little bit, except we did with Aqua 3 coaches ago. Is JV and the Atlanta Victini. So he did start 2-1, went 2-2 since. So 4-3, -5, just not even caring about differential. I would say, oh, differential doesn't really matter if you have the wins. Maybe you should start caring about differential. I'm just kidding. But a nice 1-0 win against Gray. Win against Talon. And then just smashed by Lars. Can't even these don't even count. Whenever you see that loss to Lars, you're you don't even look at that. But then a loss to JB, 1-0, close 1-0 loss. So it's just a little bit rough. His differential's in a rough spot, and he is losing some games. He lost 2 straight now. So we'll have to see. If I done this in week 5, he would have been right up there. He was 4-1, and now he's 4-3. So just like that, you can drop. But yeah, team is very, very even spread in kills too. So I think overall that's mostly a good thing. Everything's getting used. He did make some trades. I think these are new trades. He dropped the stupid pseudo rain team, or gained the rain team. Hold on. He gained the stupid pseudo rain team, and I think I covered that when I did the last video. So nothing new since then. But he's just gotta not let this turn into a lose streak and maybe I don't like my team, yada yada yada. I feel like that kind of happens when you have a team and everything's just doing equally okay. Those teams almost end up being kind of boring because nothing's standing out. You're putting a lot of effort into builds to barely win or barely lose, and I don't know. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's just it's a weird mindset thing that I at least get sometimes. But fuck it, I'm losing steam. Help me, I'm dying. I need water. Above in fifth place is Q is Chicago Dragon Pulse. Q is 5-2, a very good start. Did go 2-2 since the last video, so like he did start 3-0, and now he's gone 2-2, so it's a little bit rough. Like from that perspective, obviously 5-2 is still very good record to have. No trades, hasn't needed it, but 3-6-0s in a row, and then 2-0-2 losses in a row. So differential out of control. Well, he's 5-2 plus 18 or something. 5-2 plus 18. Q save some for the rest of us. Did lose to Gray and Aquarius, two coaches currently in the middle of attempting to turn their seasons around. So I don't know if you can look into that at all. If he just happened to run into coaches that are really like gave really strong efforts these weeks because they needed to like stay in it, and then he was I'm 5-0, like I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and then maybe overlooked something or just got slightly outbuilt, slightly outplayed, hacked. Who even knows? So obviously still doing very well. Did lose one spot just because other teams have been performing even better, which is always cool. But Zera and Salazzle carrying the team. Salazzle 10-2 is pretty crazy. So just doing good things with his fast mods, running the offense and getting it done. So good for Q. Above Q in fourth, we've seen this coach popping up a lot, is going to be Fox Door and the Dutch Dupiters. After starting 2-1, has actually won his last four. He's now 6-1. Absolute ape shit. Plus 23. What? Stop it. What do you? How? Somebody stop this man. So 3 5-0s in a row. Like, what? So beat Danny, I think, before he got a chance to like get a hold of his team, and then just went ham on Vancouver, went ham on Chat. He went ham on these like middling or worse teams. Just going ape. Like what can I say? This dude's been playing out of his mind. We're using the Sandcore Excadrill 8-2. What? Radicus 9-0. What? Moltres Galar 4-0. Wes, that's your mascot. I don't know. I'm just being stupid. Oh yeah, Fox is just playing out of his mind. That's super incredible. I don't even know what to say. I don't know if like the hacks has been if there's been hacks to give him extra like dip or anything. But 5-0 wins. You can't really argue. Dude's playing well, playing great. So above him, actually in third is Galadite, and the Calgary Flamethrower is also 6-1, only plus 19, not quite as big, but did proceed to go 3-1 after starting 3-0 since the first video. So Galadite's playing out of his mind, but playing like well. I don't think I've ever seen Galadite do like bad. Like I've seen it. I guess I might have seen him in a couple leagues like quote unquote underperform, but I've never seen him just like have a bad season. And, dude's going 8. Most recent loss was just the 1-0 against Danny in the Much Less United. So maybe Danny made some good trades. Maybe he made some thoughtful trades that gave him a good matchup here. Maybe he. Oh wait, I think this match was on timer. I literally think Galadite was going to win this match and he lost on timer. So Galadite might even should be second, if I'm remembering this correctly. So like theoretically, like if this were a showdown, he won. So or he'd be undefeated, which is crazy. But that sucks. At least it wasn't 0-1. At least it wasn't something stupid like I had set up and his entire team was at 2%, and then I lost on the timer, and I was about to get 6 kills in a row or something, and you like lost 6-0. Like, that wouldn't happen obviously, but Thunderous just 13-1. Why? What? Ulti guys 6-2. I mean, all those kills were from the first game, so it doesn't really count. Ambition. Pharaoh doing well. Pharaoh 65 is actually like kind of impressive. I don't know how many of those are like passive or whatever, but hey, Galadite playing extremely well. I'm proud of him. About to face him off as the sexiest APM coach. For some reason, I'm gonna win, even though like I'm only friends with like 5 people in that league. I just keep getting most. It's weird. So in second place, it's gonna be Shaykwaza and the Dallas Starmies. He is 5-2, but he's been high, and I don't I don't like. I'm not gonna give a 1 game difference. I'm not gonna like drop him because he's still performing, right? 5-2 plus 6 differential in the toilet. But I just like I think he's doing fine. I'm not like worried. His oh wait, hold on actually. He was 2-1 and now he's So I guess he went 3-1, right? He went from 2-1 to 5-2. So he went 3-1. Still pretty good. So he performed like as well as Galadite did, 3-1, 3-1. So I can't really justify putting him below. Besides that, Sicko lost to Galadite, which was just the Poltergeist anyways, week one. But performing extremely well, and just a very tight loss to Aqua. But not huge wins either. 3-0, 2-0, 2-0. Like you take your wins. Like I don't know. But I think Shea's performing well, and he's got Cleveland, Indeedies, JB, and Vancouver left. So besides potentially Danny, who's been playing well, and Lars, he's got winnable matches left up. So like you can definitely just finish the season strong and go from there. And we'll just do a quick check on what's been performing on his team, and it looks like it's his middle three, which are Zapdos, Galar, and Blastoise. Blastoise probably had the one or two really good games. Despite coming to 5 games, it's 5-1. Maybe it's just as being bulky and just getting a kill per game and not dying. But that's pretty impressive. And then Zapdos, Galar, he's using very well. I forget which. I think it was a battle versus mid where he just fucking killed him with it. That was great. That was a great battle. Very good use of Zapdos, Galar. So that means in first, in like mega first and ultimate first, in I'd like beyond first is Lars, who's 7-0 plus 29, absolute monster of a man. Somebody stop him. Somebody like call the police. He's already dead. But not for me or whatever. Just killing people. Like theoretically, he should have lost the mid, or could have lost the mid without the crit. Who knows if he could have played around it differently because the whole game would have gone different. You can never really say. I think it was an early crit too. And then you say, oh, if Galadite didn't lose on time, or Galadite could be undefeated, and Lars wouldn't be, but he's just going ape. Like Goki and mid took him to 2-0, which is like still impressive. The dude's just fucking crazy. Skarm has like 80 kills. You think? No, Skarm's only 3-1. What? every freaking battle song, they're like, oh, Skarm, I couldn't even touch it, and then things 3-1. What? But Zygarde and Nile just going ham. Just going ham. 7-0. Gastrodon 7-0. Still hasn't died. 6-1. Jolteon. Oh yeah. He walled Galia, or no. He walled Aqua with Jolteon, which is just crazy. What? Dude's a monster. Undefeated. Unbeatable. So hey, let's just quickly look back at the. Don't look at this. Nope. Click it like twice. It's like you wanted to go back all the way. I'm like, just give me a second here. Okay. So hey, here's the standings. Just Lars going ape shit. Like I said, every team is still technically in it, assuming it is top 12 to make playoffs. Let's just look at the statistics real quick. See who's doing what. Coco and Thunderous, so electric types, tied for first. Very good. Urshifu single strike expected. Celesteela not even that unexpected. Salazzle, I didn't even know Scuda had 9 kills. I didn't notice that. That's like impressive. Scuda is very okay. I don't mind it, but it's a hard amount to justify like having because like it's fast, but it can't hit a lot of stuff, so it ends up being like over expensive. But these are pretty reasonable top 10, I'd say. Scuda and Salazzle are probably the most like unexpected. Thunderous is probably a little bit higher than you'd expect, but hey, Thunderous freaking plus 12. Are you kidding me? Why is Coco in first then? Is it alphabetical? I don't know. So here's your active season kill leaders. I don't really care about the rest of these stats. Hey, whatever. So now I will do an outro and put up the table, so that way people can look at the table and pause the video and look at the table, see how everyone jumped. I need to update the last 5 records on the table because I didn't do it. And then I was looking at this and I was referencing, and I don't care. So hey, thanks for watching up to this. Hopefully I'll do at least one more of these for the season ends. I just happen to have time today. So hey, if you're coaching this, good job so far. It's been a pretty smooth season, especially for Wi-Fi. Like that's super cool. I don't run the league, obviously Gray does, but from the shadows I run the league. So I appreciate everyone getting their battles done, being good sports. We haven't had any sort of like, not that I would expect, but we haven't had any sort of like controversy, like there's BM, like with timer stall, whatever. Except everyone is like afraid of Lars now, so that's kind of an issue. I'm just kidding. All right, thanks for watching this. I'll get this up. Hopefully, maybe today. We'll see. Thanks for watching, though. Goodbye.